Shannon Dunn-Downing is the first American to ever win an Olympic medal in the sport of snowboarding. And years ago, when we first opened up Arche Year for the first time, she applied to the program. So I got this email in my inbox and I was blown away. She explained to me, that she was the first person to ever win an Olympic medal in snowboarding. She's a believer and she wanted to write a book. Could she do Arche Year and work with us? And I'm like, heck yes, let's do this. So today, several years later, she has completed that book. That book has been published, and we are now celebrating the release of Snowboard Girl by Shannon Dunn-Downing. Stick around. I want to tell you about it. My name is Brad Paquette, and this is the Company Podcast. Snowboard Girl is the inspiring true story of Shannon Dunn-Downing, who, as I already explained, won an Olympic medal in snowboarding and was the first American to ever win a medal in the sport of snowboarding. She originally wrote this book. Her complete first draft was part of our Arche Year program, and we could not be more delighted that she has now finished the manuscript, finished all the editing, and published this book through the Pearl. This memoir shares her journey through one of snowboarding's most defining decades. There are laugh out loud funny stories in there. There are stories of how she has broken through even in men's competitions. When Shannon started snowboarding, it's not like there weren't any women who were doing it, but the sport really wasn't accommodating to women at all. There wasn't any women's boards, like snowboards that were specifically made for women. There wasn't any women's gear. So she talks about how she would get sponsors from people, but they would just give her men's clothes that she had to wear and that, just do her best in stuff that didn't really fit right. But with relentless determination and with her faith intact, she perseveres to not just win an Olympic medal, but she's now recognized as a front runner for women in the sport of snowboarding. I believe she released the first snowboard that was ever specifically made for women, and she was part of the design of that. Snowboarding is an extreme sport, and the competition is absolutely cutthroat, but nonetheless, the story in Snowboard Girl is going to tell you about how she found and persevered in her faith through all of that. Shannon can't help but be a leader, apparently, because shortly after release, she is already a #1 new release in the snowboarding category on Amazon, which is incredible. So I can't encourage you enough to go check out this book. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Powell's, Walmart, really wherever you typically buy your books, you can find it. But if you prefer to shop at a local bookstore, just ask for it. It's available through Ingram, which is the nation's biggest distributor of narrative books. And so if you go to your local bookstore and ask for it, they should be able to look it up and get it in stock for you, and then you can order it that way. So like I said, Shannon took Arche Year to write this book. She came through our first ever year of Arche Year, and it was so cool to work with her. So through the Arche Year program, which is still open now, and you can apply if you'd like and be part of that, we guided her through writing that complete first draft. This is a story, obviously, that she has carried for a long time. I think she won the Olympic medal in 1998, and this would have been around 2020 when she came through Arche Year. So, this is a story that was percolating in her mind and in her heart for 20 years. It wouldn't surprise me if she had made some attempts to write it before that, but Arche Year is what gave her that structure and support to actually methodically move through the process of writing a novel, do it in a wise way so that the end product was actually worth something so that she could reach the end. And in my opinion, that's really when the fun began. So Shannon, in this case, worked with our apprentices here at the company to do the editing and design of the book. So our apprentices, they come from all over the country for 2 years to learn about writing and publishing. Most of them are college age, high school graduates, college age. Some of them are college graduates. But it's really open to people of all ages. And they come here for 2 years and they learn all about writing and publishing. And one of the things that we do is we teach them how to actually professionally produce books, so that in addition to being amazing writers and writing their own books, they can also work as editors and designers and make money fast, right? Doing those kinds of jobs while they're still building their writing career, because that can take time. And so our apprentices are here. Shannon, brought her book to us, and we've worked with her through the entire process. process. And that also is available to you. If you're working on a book and you'd like an editor, or you need help with the design or production, etc., of the publishing process, please reach out. We'd love to help you. But Snowboard Girl, she went through all those steps, and now the book is available from The Pearl, which is our in-house publishing imprint. So we're super excited to see this book out there in the world and, just making its own splash. Truthfully, Shannon, of course, has a really exceptional story with the Olympics and everything, but there's no reason that you can't achieve the same results as she did. Arche Year is now accepting new students, so go to writers.company/Arche Year. Arche is spelled Arche, and technically it's a Greek word that it's pronounced more like arche, with that throat sound, for the ch. But it means the source or origin of power. And so it's like all the basics that you need in order to build something effective as a writer and really get moving in your stuff. So this is available to you just like it was available to Shannon. We've had plenty of people that don't have these remarkable memoir stories, but just want to write a fiction story that God has placed on their heart, or that they've been thinking about for a long time, that come through Arche Year and finally make the progress that they've been waiting for. We have other books on the website, but the ones that come to the top of my mind are Every Bush of Fire by Kyle Peters, and The Beastkeeper, I think that's what it's called, by Julia Fudge Smith, which is a really cool story about this veterinarian who works with mythological creatures like cryptids and things like that. So this program is out there. It's available to you. We'd love to have you come and participate and take your turn, right? There was a point for Shannon where she said, all right, today is the day. I'm sure she got an email from us or something, and she said, all right, let's do this, right? This looks like it. I'm going to pull the trigger on this and say yes and take the next step. And again, Shannon's a leader. She's a natural leader. Everything she does, she seems to do it well. And so I think that we can follow her example in this, and we'd love for you to follow her example. Come into Arche Year and get some stuff done. Shannon is not just a leader. She's also a really kind person, and she's an adventurer. And this book is the next adventure, after snowboarding down mountains and working with top people in extreme sports industries. This is the next step for her, and we're so excited for her. And let's follow her example in that, but let's also cheer her on and support her in this adventure. So can't advise you enough. Go check out Snowboard Girl. Support a fellow believer. Celebrate a writer who has taken big risks to put their story out there. That's something that we can always do to work together as a community of believers by supporting each other, raising each other up. There's enough to go around. So this is Shannon's turn, but we look forward to your turn coming next. So again, check out Snowboard Girl. You can find it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Powell's, Walmart, all those kinds of places. But if there's some other place you like to buy books, it's very likely available there too. So we'd love to see you read that book. Shoot us an email or drop a comment and let us know what you think. And of course, if you'd like to get involved with Arche Year, that'd be awesome. So you can always email us at info@writers.company or contact us through any of our social media pages, and we'd love to answer your questions and help you get connected. So thanks for celebrating Shannon Dunn-Downing and Snowboard Girl with us today. It really is an incredible book and an incredible thing that she's accomplished. So thanks for supporting the community of writers, and bless you guys, and happy writing. Thank you so much for listening today. Please be sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen and leave us a review. This podcast was produced by Theo Paquette with help from the company. For help with your podcast, visit writers.company. We'd love to give you a hand.